Yesterday, someone asked me, "How are you?" I understood the question perfectly, but I gave a strange answer. I said, "I'm busy." Busy was true, but busy wasn't actually a feeling. Have you ever known that something was happening inside you, but your English answer could not quite reach it?
Many times. My feelings can be a full movie, while my answer is just fine. Then the conversation ends before the first scene.
Today, we're going to build a better bridge between what you feel and what you can say. You'll learn simple, natural ways to describe emotions without making a long speech or sharing more than you want.
So no emotional interview under a bright lamp.
No bright lamp, just useful English. Welcome to Beyond English Class. I'm Aaliyah.
And I'm Avery. This is where we practice real English through calm, understandable conversations. Aaliyah, when you said you were busy, what were you actually feeling?
I had to think about it. I was overwhelmed. I had several small tasks, 2 messages I had forgotten to answer, and a decision I kept delaying. Nothing was a disaster, but everything wanted my attention at the same time.
Overwhelmed means that something feels like too much for you to manage. You can be overwhelmed by work, noise, information, or even too many choices.
Right. I imagine feelings as weather inside us. Saying "I'm fine" can be like saying "there is weather today." It isn't false, but it doesn't tell us whether the sky is clear, cloudy, windy, or changing.
I like that picture, but do we always need a detailed weather report? Sometimes fine is all I want to say.
I agree with the second part, but not the first. We don't always need detail. We do need choices. Fine should be a choice, not the only answer we know.
That feels fair. Privacy is allowed, and more accurate English is available when we want it.
Exactly. The first useful step is to move one level beyond good, bad, happy, and sad. You don't need a perfect word. Choose a word that points in the right direction.
For example, instead of saying, "I feel bad," you might say, "I feel disappointed." That means something wasn't as good as you hoped.
Or "I feel uneasy." Uneasy means a little worried or uncomfortable, often because something doesn't feel quite right. If you're waiting for an important reply, you might feel uneasy.
And instead of only saying happy, you could say, "I'm relieved." Relieved is the comfortable feeling you get when worry or difficulty ends. I felt relieved last week when I found my wallet.
Where was it?
In the very safe place where I had put it so I wouldn't lose it.
Which you then forgot?
Completely. Safety became mystery.
That small difference matters. Happy tells us the general direction. Relieved tells us what changed. Here's a short story. A few months ago, I applied for a training program I really wanted. I prepared carefully and felt hopeful. When the email arrived, I opened it quickly, but I wasn't accepted.
Did someone ask how you were?
My cousin called that evening. I said, "I'm okay, it's not a big deal," but it was a big deal to me. I wasn't broken and I wasn't angry. I was disappointed and a little embarrassed because I had already told people how excited I was.
Why embarrassed? You hadn't done anything wrong.
I know that now. At the time, I felt uncomfortable because other people knew I had failed. Later, I told my cousin, "I'm disappointed about the result and I feel a little embarrassed talking about it." Once I said that, she understood. She didn't try to give me a motivational speech. She just said, "That makes sense. I'm here."
So the clearer words helped her respond to the real feeling.
Yes, they also helped me understand it. But I want to be careful. Finding the exact word isn't always possible, especially when you're tired, stressed, or speaking a second language.
Then what can you say?
Try, "I'm feeling a bit off today." It means you don't feel completely normal, but you may not know why. You can also say, "I'm not sure how to describe it yet." Both are honest.
That word "yet" is helpful. It says, "I don't have the answer now, but I may understand later."
The next step is to show how strong the feeling is. English gives us small volume controls. We can say a little, a bit, pretty, really, or extremely.
So "I'm a bit nervous" is softer than "I'm really nervous."
Yes, "I'm a little disappointed" sounds gentle. "I'm extremely disappointed" is much stronger. In daily conversation, pretty often means quite or fairly. I'm pretty worried about tomorrow is stronger than a little worried, but usually less dramatic than extremely worried.
That lesson I learned during my first presentation at a new job. I knew the material, but when I stood up, my mind went blank for a few seconds. Afterwards, a coworker asked, "Were you scared?" I said, "Yes, I was terrified."
Were you truly terrified?
No, I was nervous and embarrassed. Terrified was the strongest word I knew, so I used it. My coworker looked concerned, as if something terrible had happened.
That is common. A strong word can accidentally make a small storm sound like a hurricane.
There is our emotional weather again. A better answer was, I was pretty nervous and I felt embarrassed when I lost my place.
Very natural. Notice that you named two feelings. We often feel more than one. You can say, I'm excited, but also a little anxious, or I'm relieved and still tired.
Sometimes the body notices the weather before the mind finds a word. Your shoulders feel tight, your stomach feels heavy, or you can't sit still.
That can be a useful clue, although one physical sign doesn't always mean one meaning. Tight shoulders could mean stress, tiredness, or simply a bad chair.
My chair would like us to blame stress.
Of course it would. The point is to become curious, not to diagnose yourself. You might say, my body feels tense, so I think I'm worried about something. That is a thoughtful answer, even if you're still unsure.
Can we pause for the listener? Think about one moment from this week. What did you feel, and how strong was it? Maybe you were a little annoyed, really proud, or pretty uneasy. You don't have to say it out loud yet. Just notice your inner weather.
And remember, your answer can be simple. One accurate word plus a small volume control is already progress. Naming a feeling is useful, but people usually want to know what caused it. How much explanation should we give?
Just enough for the situation. A simple pattern is feeling plus reason. I'm frustrated because the software keeps closing. I'm relieved because the appointment went well. I feel left out when plans are made without me.
Left out means you feel excluded, as if other people are part of something and you aren't included. That feeling can be especially difficult in a new country.
It reminds me of a student named Hannah who joined an evening English class. During breaks, several classmates spoke quickly and laughed together. Hannah smiled, but she rarely joined them. Her teacher thought she was shy. Hannah's classmates thought she preferred being alone.
But that wasn't the whole story, was it?
No. She wanted to join, but she couldn't enter the conversation fast enough. One evening, a classmate asked, "Are you okay?" Hannah first said, "Yes, I'm fine." Then she stopped and tried again. She said, "Actually, I feel a little left out because I can't follow the group conversation."
That took courage. What happened next?
Her classmate didn't suddenly solve everything, but the next day she sat beside Hannah, spoke a little more slowly, and asked her direct questions. Hannah still missed some jokes, but she no longer believed that everyone was ignoring her on purpose.
I like that the result was small and realistic. One sentence didn't change her whole life. It gave another person useful information.
And she used feeling plus reason. If because feels too direct, you can use I think it's because, or I'm not completely sure, but. For example, I've been feeling uneasy. I think it's because I haven't heard back yet.
Here's another variation. To be honest, I'm a little frustrated with the process. That works when you want to be direct but calm.
Now we need an important boundary. Honest English doesn't mean telling everyone everything.
I might disagree a little. If someone asks how you are, shouldn't we try to answer honestly?
Honestly, yes. Completely, no. The person, place, and moment matter. A close friend and a coworker near the elevator don't always receive the same answer.
So honesty can have different levels.
Think of 3 doors. The first is a polite answer. I'm doing okay, thanks. The second opens a little. I'm okay, just a bit overwhelmed today. The third opens further. I've been feeling anxious about a family situation and I could use someone to talk to.
That helps. You're not pretending, you're choosing how much to share.
And if you don't want to discuss it, you can set a kind boundary. I'm having a difficult day, but I'd rather not talk about it yet. Or, thanks for checking in. I'm not ready to open up, but I appreciate you asking.
Open up means to begin sharing personal thoughts or feelings. I used to think if someone opened up, I had to fix the problem.
Many people make that mistake. What did you usually do?
I offered 5 solutions before the person finished their second sentence. I thought I was being helpful.
Were you?
Sometimes, other times, definitely not. My younger brother once told me he was frustrated with university. I immediately suggested a new schedule, a study app, a meeting with his professor, and probably a different chair.
A different chair?
I was searching for solutions. He looked at me and said, "I don't need a plan. I need you to listen for 2 minutes."
That is a useful lesson. When someone tells you how they feel, you can ask, do you want advice or would you like me to listen?
At first, that question sounded unnatural to me. I thought caring meant taking action.
Action can be caring, but listening is also action. Supportive responses include, that sounds difficult, or I can understand why you feel that way, and take your time, I'm listening.
We should add one warning. Saying, "I know exactly how you feel," can be risky. You may have had a similar experience, but you don't know every part of another person's feelings.
Good point. I can imagine that was difficult is often safer. You can also ask, do you want to tell me more? It leaves the choice with them.
Let's move to work and professional situations. Some learners worry that emotional language will make them sound weak.
In professional English, calm feeling words can make communication clearer. The key is to connect the feeling to the issue and, when possible, the next step. For example, I'm concerned about the deadline because we're still waiting for the data. Could we review the schedule? That sounds better than, I'm scared this project will fail.
Usually, yes. Concerned is calm and professional. Another example is, "I was disappointed with the test result, but I'd like to understand what went wrong."
I know an engineer who learned this after a design review. His manager asked why a task was late. He said, I'm upset because nobody helps me.
That sounds blaming, even if his frustration was real.
Later, he corrected it. He said, I'm frustrated because 2 requirements changed and I'm not sure which version to follow. Could we confirm the priority? The second answer named the feeling, explained the cause, and requested something specific.
That's a strong professional pattern, but we shouldn't remove all emotion and sound like machines. You can say, "I'm excited about this opportunity," or "I'm proud of the progress," or "I'm grateful for the feedback."
There's also a grammar mistake worth noticing. We say, I feel nervous, not I feel myself nervous.
And be careful with bored and boring.
Yes, I'm bored describes your feeling. The meeting is boring describes the thing causing it. If you say, I'm boring, you're saying that you cause other people to feel bored.
That is not the personal introduction most people want. Another misunderstanding is believing that clear feeling language must sound dramatic. It doesn't. "I'm a little disappointed" can be calm. "I'm not comfortable with that" can be firm without being rude.
Let's give the listener another reflection. When someone shares a difficult feeling with you, what do you normally do first? Do you listen, ask a question, change the subject, or quickly offer advice?
Let the answer sit for a moment. There is no need to judge yourself. Just notice the habit. The next time someone opens up, you can experiment with one supportive question.
We've covered a lot of emotional weather. Now, let's slow down and collect the words and phrases you can actually carry into your next conversation.
Let's begin our vocabulary and phrase tour with overwhelmed. If you feel overwhelmed, you feel that there is too much to manage. The common pattern is overwhelmed by something or overwhelmed with tasks. "I'm overwhelmed by all this new information." Another example is, "She felt overwhelmed with work, so she asked for help."
Our second word is relieved. You feel relieved when worry, fear, or difficulty ends. We often say relieved that or relieved to. I'm relieved that everyone arrived safely. In another situation, he was relieved to finish the exam. The noun is relief, as in what a relief.
Next is disappointed. This means unhappy because something wasn't as good as you hoped. You can be disappointed with a result, disappointed in a person, or disappointed that something happened. "I'm disappointed with my score." A different example is, "She was disappointed that the event was canceled."
Number 4 is frustrated. You feel frustrated when you're trying to do something, but a problem keeps blocking you. We often say frustrated with a thing or frustrated by a situation. I'm frustrated with this printer, and they were frustrated by the long delay. Frustrated describes the person. Frustrating describes the cause.
Our fifth word is uneasy. Uneasy means slightly worried or uncomfortable, sometimes without a clear reason. I feel uneasy about signing the agreement today. In another situation, the silence in the room made him uneasy. We often use uneasy about before the thing that concerns us.
Number 6 is the expression feel left out. In today's topic, feel left out means to feel excluded because other people are doing something without you. I felt left out when everyone discussed a joke I didn't understand. Or, please invite Maya, I don't want her to feel left out. Notice that it is feel left out, not feel leave out.
Next is the phrasal verb open up. To open up means to begin sharing private thoughts or feelings. It took me time to open up to my new friend. A second example is, he opened up about the pressure he was facing. Common patterns are open up to a person and open up about a subject.
Our 8th phrase is hold back. In today's topic, hold back means to stop yourself from saying or showing something. I held back because I didn't know the group well. In another example, don't hold back your questions during the workshop. Holding back isn't always wrong. Sometimes it protects your privacy, but sometimes it stops people from understanding you.
Our final phrase is check in. To check in with someone means to contact them and ask how they're doing or how something is progressing. I'll check in with you after your interview. Another example is, my manager checked in to see whether I needed support. It is usually a small, caring contact, not a long, formal meeting.
9 useful items, and none of them requires a huge emotional speech. Let's practice building one natural answer. Start with, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed today.
Say it with us. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed today. This is honest, but still general. You aren't giving the reason yet.
Now add a reason. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed because I have several deadlines. This version gives the listener more context.
Here's a softer version for a friendly conversation. I'm okay, just a bit overwhelmed today. The word just makes the answer feel lighter, though the feeling can still be real.
And here's a professional version. I'm concerned about the workload, and I'd like to review the priorities. This focuses on the issue and a possible next step.
Now make the first sentence personal. Choose one feeling from today and complete this pattern. I'm feeling a little blank because blank. Take a moment and form your answer.
You might say, I'm feeling a little uneasy because I'm waiting for an email. Or, I'm feeling relieved because I finished an important task. Your answer doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be yours.
Here's your challenge for today. Give yourself a 2-sentence emotional weather report. In the first sentence, name a feeling and its strength. In the second, give a reason or say that you don't know the reason yet. You can speak it, write it in a notebook, or share a comfortable version in the comments.
To make this useful in daily life, try 5 small actions. First, pause before answering, how are you? Even 2 seconds can help you choose a better word.
Second, keep a short list of 5 feeling words that match your real life. You might choose overwhelmed, relieved, proud, uneasy, and frustrated.
Third, practice the pattern I feel blank because blank. Use it once a day with a simple situation.
Fourth, choose your level of sharing. Give a polite answer, open the door a little, or speak more deeply with someone you trust.
Fifth, when another person shares a feeling, ask one supportive question before offering advice. Try, would you like me to listen or help you think of a solution?
Let's gather the main ideas. You don't need to replace every fine with a perfect emotional description. You only need more choices. Name the general feeling, show its strength, and add a reason when it helps. Remember that 2 feelings can exist together. You may be excited and anxious, relieved and tired, or proud and still uncertain.
You can also protect your privacy. Honest communication has different doors, and you decide how far each one opens. At work, connect the feeling to the issue and a useful next step. When someone else opens up, listening may be more helpful than immediately trying to fix the problem.
And return to our weather picture. Your inner weather can be clear, cloudy, windy, or difficult to name. You don't control every cloud, but with practice, you can give a clearer report. One honest sentence may help another person understand how to stand beside you.
So, how are you really feeling today?
Which word from this episode fits your emotional weather, and what is one sentence you can use?
Share only what feels comfortable in the comments. Your answer may also help another learner discover a word they need.
If this conversation was useful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone learning English.
Keep practicing with us here at Beyond English Class and continue with another episode when you're ready. Your feelings don't need perfect English to be real. Start with one true word, then build from there.